Hey everyone, this is Elias from Red Match Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Ford Bronco Everglades. This thing is like a Florida gator. It's green, it's mean, and it likes to be in the water. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that this is just going to be a review of what you get when you go with the Everglades package. For a full review, I've reviewed, I want to say now, like 4 Broncos. I'll go ahead and list them up here, put them up there, you know, all this stuff. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the Everglades options. So first, well, we get started on the front, and there are some obvious things that are in the front, but we'll ignore them for now. First, I want to talk about this green color, the Eruption Green color. It is so nice. It is beautiful. It shines so well in the sun. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite Bronco colors. And then I started seeing the other options. There's like a slate color for the Everglades, just all these different things, and it makes it hard to choose which color to get your Everglades in. So yeah, that's probably going to be the toughest choice when you decide to get one of these. So that's what you get. Now let's go to the front. So in the front, the big thing with the Bronco is the first time a winch is offered from the factory. So we do have a worn winch in here, and it is nice. Obviously, we didn't have any use for it, but I was definitely taking a look at it. So we do have the winch. We were kind of playing around with it a little bit, but it is really nice to have this from the factory. You don't have to start with wiring. You don't have to do, you know, the bumper stuff is pretty easy, but wiring can kind of be a pain in the butt to have to route things. So it's nice that it's available from the factory. And if you're just one of those people that just want to, you know, off the dealership, just ready to go and don't want to have to outfit anything, this is what you want to get. But it is nice. It's nice that we have this option. So if you get in sticky terrain, because that's where this thing wants to go to, muddy terrain, and you need some assistance to kind of get out, you go ahead and tie this around something and then just pull yourself out. It does have a remote. We have it in the back, where you just go ahead and get that guy moving. But yeah, it's pretty nice to have that there. So we take a look at the grille. I love the fact that we have the black lettering for the Bronco there. We don't get the front facing camera. So that's kind of the unfortunate thing when we kind of have one of these. The front facing camera is usually, I want to say, I believe it's between the O and the N. Yes. But we don't get that. So we do lose the 360-degree camera system that the Bronco has an option for. So we are only going to have a rear camera. It was kind of a letdown. I know. I don't know if, yeah, it's one or the other. So if you're going to really be in muddy terrain, this is the way you want to go. If you're really not, take a look at the other trims, because that front-facing camera is so helpful on trails when you are needing to see kind of what's in front of you and you can't quite see what's in front of you. So that's kind of one of the downsides to having this Everglades. But yeah, either way though, we have that. We have the nice bumper here. We have the LED lighting system here. Again, the green color. And we're going to get to this in a little bit, but overall though, that's kind of the big differences of what you'll expect between the Everglades and maybe the other different trims of the Bronco. So let's go ahead and see what's under this hood. Now, before we get under the hood, let's actually talk about another thing that comes with the Bronco Everglades, and that is this snorkel. So Ford says this is going to help you out with water. It's going to help you out with heavy snow as well as with dust. So it basically sucks air from the top and not from the bottom when you may be in that deep water that you're going through. Now, yes, you can probably get this aftermarket, but as someone that is very terrified of cutting up body panels, this is a great option. And, you know, it just comes from the factory ready to go. And yeah, there's only one catch to this, and that's what's under the hood. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We get under the hood and we have the 2.3 liter EcoBoost inline-4 turbocharged engine. On regular fuel, it is cranking out 275 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. When using premium fuel, you do get 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 10-speed auto and then to the Ford 4x4 system. Now, a couple of things with this. I feel like we're being punished. I feel like we're being punished, Ford, because we have this awesome green color. We have this awesome, snorkel. We get these awesome winch in the front. We get all these awesome things, but we're with the 4-cylinder and not the V6. I did read somewhere where they were saying it could be because of payload capacities to reduce it because of the added weight of the winch. So they were saying that's why going with the 4-cylinder that weighs less, but you get less power. We'll talk about the brakes later on with this specific, 4-cylinder, but it's not bad though. It's not bad. And that 10-speed though, that is the saving grace to this Bronco. I did love the 7-speed manual that we've reviewed before, but those gears were just way too long. And yeah, if only you guys were to have paired the 7-speed with the V6 in the Everglades, that would have been awesome. That would have been my ideal Bronco, minus the Raptor, of course. But yeah, we do get the 4-cylinder. It's the only option you get with the Everglades. It's probably something to deal with the snorkeling as well of this. I don't remember how the intake was on the V6, but yeah, so we do kind of get this as an option. It's not bad. So it's not bad. You still get good power. You still kind of get a good grunt. The 10-speed, again, like I said, is the saving grace to this engine because it feels like it has a lot more power than what the specs tell you, especially when you're in a big guy like this and are needing to get really big wheels going. But other than that, yeah, it's just your 2.3 that you get with the Bronco. So let's go ahead and take a look at those big wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package and we have the 17-inch carbonized gray painted alloy wheels. They are wrapped in the 315/70 Goodyear Territory MT. Now, this is an exclusive Everglades wheel, and let me tell you, the color is unbelievable. The design is unbelievable. It's a very cool look to it. A lot of aftermarket wheels have kind of this design, and it looks really good on this, especially again what they call the carbonized color with this green here. It just looks so nice. And the tires are really good for everyday driving. They have been incredible, super quiet, no fighting at the wheel, nothing like that. It's just been incredible. So we do get the Sasquatch package with this. So we have the higher suspension and a couple of details. We do get the what they call the position sensitive Bilsteins. So we do have those shocks on here, and it's been good. It's been good. No complaints. Again, now the best Bronco suspension, the Raptor. Yeah, with the adaptive system where you can go, normal, sport, or Baja. That's probably the best Bronco suspension. But this was just as good in the balance of a little bit of everything kind of there. But it's really nice. No issues with that. The brakes though, the brakes is where this is a little bit different because we have, and I found this out, because we have the 4-cylinder engine that comes with vacuum brakes, with a vacuum booster brake system. And there is a lot of dead spot in the brake, and then the brakes actually start to feel like they're grabbing, to the point where I had to call my Ford rep and I said, something is a little bit up. Granted, it didn't help that the car before I had this was the Raptor, where it was just significantly larger discs, bigger vehicle, and it needs, performance, and it has the performance brakes system on that. So yeah, so if you're wanting a better feel of brakes, you need to go V6, which is not available in the Everglades. Yeah, but other than that though, this was nice. I did get used to the pedal. Used to start saying, okay, cool, I have to kind of give it a little bit more of my leg, so to speak, to get it stopped. But other than that though, I love the setup. No complaints with this. And we'll get to the side and we'll talk about some measurements on that. So let's go ahead. We take a look at the side and we can see this thing looks nice in this green. I love this. And it looks mean, especially with those wheels. But let's get started on the top. So we do have some rails up here for you to put some extra toys if you want to there. We do get the hard top on this. Again, this green color just looks so nice. And let's get started on the front. You could probably see a little bit where the winch is sticking out a little farther from the bumper itself. Be careful. Make sure if you get an Everglades, remember you have that up front, especially if you need to park really close to another car or to a wall or something like that. Be very careful and remember that. Again, you don't have the front facing camera to kind of see that. So yeah, definitely something that I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. I have that big thing in the front. So we have that. Then we have the 17-inch wheels, which again look really great. We do get this Everglades graphic on here. I love the way that it looks. It's really cool. It has kind of some cutouts, so you'll see the color, the green color of the Bronco itself. If you get a different Everglades color, that will obviously come through. Now, I was getting mixed kind of information. Some people were saying this is these are measurements for the water levels that you could put this guy through. Yeah, and then others were just saying it's just a graphic. Either way though, if you don't decide to get an Everglades but you kind of want to have this, I've seen some aftermarket options. It doesn't say Everglades, but it's just kind of this whole thing. It looks really nice. I love it. Okay, so curiosity got the best of me, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see. So from a flat spot to, so we have 36.4 inches of water fording. That's gonna be just right above Sasquatch. So if Sasquatch disappears, yeah, just be aware you're at about 36 inches there. We do have the protecting rails down here. I would have liked the step because it's definitely a, especially with the Sasquatch height, you do kind of have to hop in. And when you have jeans, it's a little tough to kind of get in. But yeah, we have that. And overall though, the fenders look really good. Just a nice Bronco. It's really a really good looking Bronco. So I accidentally grabbed, so I have the key fob in my pocket and I accidentally grabbed the door already, and it will unlock and you're good to go. Just open that up and close it and you can lock it. It will not do the back doors though. So you do have to kind of do this and then it will go ahead and open up. So you do have that. So that's pretty much for the side, but let's talk about some numbers. Now, because this is the Everglades, we are going to have additional protection for water. And that is going to be underneath. We have extended vents for the front and rear axle, the transfer case, and the transmission. That's going to help with providing the capability of up to 36.4 inches for, you know, muddy trails and any challenging water passages. So yeah, that's what you get with the Everglades, 36.4. So a standard Bronco is going to give you 33.5 inches. So we do get an additional 2.9 inches of water fording. So it's a good amount. When every inch counts between you not being able to go and being able to go, yeah, we'll welcome that. And again, the snorkel is going to help for things like sandy areas, for again, any water depth or snow as well. So we have that. Now, I did want to talk about a little bit more numbers. The approach angle does suffer a little bit. So the approach angle goes from the standard Bronco with the 35-inch tire. We do go from 43.2 degrees of approach angle to 37.8. So just be aware. Again, that's why I said if you're going to be more rock climbing, the Everglades may not be the best option because you have that. If approach angle is everything you need, you're gonna want to go with something else. Now, as far as the waterfording, the max that you can get in a Bronco, that's gonna go to the Raptor. So that's 37 inches compared to this, which is 36.4. So 0.6 of an inch, so a little bit over half an inch. That's pretty impressive considering that you do get a significantly higher ground clearance with the Raptor. Raptor gives you 2 additional inches of clearance. So that venting really helps you. You're not going to be as high, but you could go a lot deeper as well. So really nice thing to have there. Now let's go ahead and see what we have in the back. We get to the back and there's really nothing different from the Bronco's Everglades than from the other Bronco lineup, except for the rear wheel. So yeah, again, we're gonna have this design, and for everyone behind you in traffic to enjoy it when they can't see the wheels on the sides. But oh, the other thing, the camera. So this is the only camera that the Bronco has. I did, you know, after reading it, I was like, wait, that can't be possible. And then when I got the Bronco Everglades and I saw the positioning of the winch is just way too high to have that front facing camera, you would literally just be looking at the winch, which might not be a bad thing, but it might have been great to just kind of have a maybe a more forward facing camera as opposed to more angled, which is how they typically are on the Bronco. So you could see if you're in a kind of incline, you could see what the winch is pulling. Who knows, maybe aftermarket, there might be an option for that. But other than that, this is really the difference. The other thing that this one was equipped with that I didn't have in any other ones, so we open up and we kind of have this little drawer here. So it is stamped with, so it is metal, and it does have the Ford stamped on it. It looks like my dad's old tailgate. it has the lines of there. And yeah, so basically you kind of, hopefully, I don't look too much of an idiot trying to get up here with that Sasquatch added height. But this is what it's all about. Just having the time, being out in the woods, and being able to sit on something like this. This little thing makes the difference in the world of, you know, getting to enjoy your vehicle, because you now get to sit on it. Literally the graphic underneath here has the Bronco with the with this kind of sticking out, a little person, and the fire pit right in front of them. And that's kind of what you want. You want to just enjoy the outdoors, and that's what the Everglades is going to let you do. So let's go ahead and hop down. We'll go ahead and close this up. And the next thing I want to show you guys is what a bunch of parents will love. Let's go ahead and hop in and take a look at the interior. We get inside of the Bronco Everglades and we have some marine grade vinyl seats on here, and they're pretty nice. They have a nice kind of grayish black color to them, and yeah, they're pretty good. So what I do love about these is that they are that material and it is super easy to clean. So if you take this out on mud, you know, grabbing drinks from the drive-through and you kind of spill a little bit on you, no worries. This is super easy to clean. So definitely parents, if you want a Bronco, this is something to definitely consider, because we also do have the back seats that are the same material, and we did have a little bit of a drink spill, but it was, again, super easy to clean. And the other thing with this, talking about cleaning, so we come down here and we have, so we take off the mat And yes, I don't know why we have cloth mats. Definitely want to consider upgrading to, you know, the more durable vinyl. And we have this. So we have the option of a plug where you're able to kind of just wash this out. So we have the vinyl flooring and just go ahead and wash this out. And we have the drain plug right in there. And then, like I said, put your cloth mat back on, which not sure why you wouldn't want to go for just kind of the more rugged vinyl option. Now we started up and we have the gauge cluster, and I kind of am missing the gauge cluster in the Raptor because that was actually pretty awesome. So yeah, as far as gauge clusters go, I hope the Raptor version is gonna see it to this, because I thought this was great, and then we had the larger Raptor one and then realized that's significantly better. But we have a small screen. Again, nothing different on the Everglades. I'll just go through the GOAT modes that this has. So we start off with normal, then we have eco, then we have sport, we have slippery, then mud, ruts, sand, and then rock crawl. So those are the modes that this has. So it has a good amount of different GOAT modes, as opposed to some of the other models that are a little bit more limited. We don't have Baja, which again is my favorite because I like speed and off-roading, and off-road speed is definitely what I would get. But again, it actually did really well where we set it to slippery and in kind of unpaved gravel kind of rocks. It did really good at making sure that the power was going down and everything was in control. So now coming over to these buttons here, which seem to change with every single trim, and we have the sway bar disconnect seems to be the one disappearing here, so we don't have a sway bar disconnect. So just consider that if you're going to be rock crawling in this, which again, this is more kind of for mud and water trenches, so to speak, that sort of thing. But we do get a front locker, which is nice, independently from the rear locker, which is a massive thing for an off-roader, because sometimes you don't need the rear locker, and other brands require you to lock the rear in order to lock the front. Not with this. And then you have your turning, gosh, I always forget the name of it. Trail turn, I believe, is the thing. I'll put it down here if I messed up. But yeah, this thing is incredible. I'll show you guys. Basically, you're at a stop or you're in a trail that's really tight. You can just turn that on, turn the steering wheel completely, put the gas down, and it will literally like do a 90-degree turn, because the inner rear wheel will get locked up by the brake. And then we have your traction control button, and then obviously your hazards. So this one also comes with the auxiliary switches up above. I will tell you, get these things. Get it. It's such a small thing. Let Ford do all the wiring. They are very high grade switches. Like, they are like, you could hear the clunking to them, and they feel great. And yeah, like I said, let them do the wiring for you. It's gonna be ready for your accessories, things like that. But that really sets you up. Now, the one thing that was really disappointing with this was the camera system. So we don't have the button like we normally do with the camera here when you have the 360-degree system. So the only one you get is when you put it in reverse, and that's it. That's all you get in reverse. That's really it. You hit the plus, it zooms in, minus zooms out. I feel like Ford needs to figure something out to get that 360-degree system in this, especially when you're in muddy situations. It's nice to be able to see all those different views that we had in the other Broncos. But other than that, everything else is pretty much just the Bronco. Another thing I forgot to mention is this Bronco did not have the sound deadening option for the hardtop. It's basically kind of this soft material on here, pretty thick. And yeah, you're gonna want to get it. This has been the loudest Bronco that I've driven. I don't believe no, I haven't had a soft top. So, or I don't remember having a soft top, but definitely if you get a hard top, go with the sound deadening option, because it's gonna make it significantly quieter in here. Although it's extremely dry here in Texas, this Everglades that loves water did actually really good in this dry environment. So we were just taking it on some unpaved roads and it did well. We put it in slippery mode and we gave it a little bit of gas, and it fared well. It didn't feel like it was sliding. The traction was there. The control was there, and it was a lot of fun. Now, would you guys consider getting an Everglades with all the options it has, or would you consider building your own? Let me know. Well, everyone, hope you enjoyed my look at the 2022 Ford Bronco Everglades. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.